Hello and welcome. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on one of chemistry's most fundamental tools. It's kind of like a secret measuring stick that scientists use to understand the hidden energy in pretty much everything around us.
I mean, seriously, have you ever stopped to think about that? You just snap a little metal disc or you shake a packet and all of a sudden you've got this intense rush of heat or this crazy wave of cold. It feels like a little bit of magic trapped in a plastic pouch, right? So what is actually going on in there?
You guessed it. It's not magic at all, it's chemistry. And by the end of this, you're going to get the science behind it, how it all works, and how that same exact science helps us do everything from engineering rocket fuel to building better batteries.
So here's our game plan. We'll start with that hot and cold pack mystery. Then we'll talk about this idea of a heat account called enthalpy. Next, we'll see why it's the change that really matters, and then we'll figure out how scientists make sure it's always a fair comparison. And finally, we'll see why this whole thing is so important in our world today.
Okay, so to crack this mystery wide open, we first have to understand the currency we're dealing with, the currency of chemical energy. And that brings us to our first big idea, enthalpy.
All right, I know that definition looks a little heavy, but just hang with me for a second. What it really means is that every single chemical substance, every molecule, has a certain amount of energy just stored inside of it, kind of locked away in its bonds. Enthalpy, which we show with the letter H, is just the official sciencey term for all that stored heat energy.
And here is the perfect way to picture it. Just imagine every chemical has its own little bank account, but instead of dollars, it's holding on to heat. The total amount of heat just sitting in that account at any moment, that's its enthalpy. See? Simple.
But okay, this is where it gets really cool. In reality, chemists don't really care about the total balance in that heat account. What they are absolutely fascinated by are the transactions, the deposits and the withdrawals. And this quote just nails it. It's almost impossible to measure the total absolute energy of a thing. But what we can do with incredible precision is measure how that energy changes when a chemical reaction happens. And that change, which we call delta H, well, that's the whole ballgame.
And boom, this brings us right back to our original mystery. When a reaction needs to pull in heat from its surroundings, we call that endothermic. Heat enters the system, so its heat account balance goes up. That's a positive change, and it feels cold to you because it's literally sucking the heat right out of your hand. That's your instant cold pack. The opposite, that's an exothermic reaction. It releases heat, so the balance goes down, a negative change, and it feels hot. And there's your hand warmer. Mystery solved!
Okay, so we can measure if heat goes in or out. Great. But that brings up a new problem. Think about it. A reaction happening in a freezing lab in Antarctica might give off a totally different amount of heat than the exact same reaction in a scorching hot desert. So how do scientists all over the world compare their notes and get results that actually mean something?
This analogy is just perfect. If you want to know who the fastest runner is, you can't have one person running uphill in a blizzard while the other is running downhill with a tailwind. It wouldn't be fair, right? You need standard conditions. Well, chemistry is exactly the same. We need a level playing field.
And these are the official rules of the race for chemists everywhere. It's a global agreement. We're going to use a pressure of 1 bar, a very specific temperature of 25 degrees Celsius, and if we're dealing with solutions, a standard concentration. Everyone plays by the same rules.
And when a measurement is made following all these rules, it gets a special name, the Standard Enthalpy Change. And you can always spot it by that little degree symbol next to the delta H. That little circle is like a seal of approval. It tells you, hey, this measurement was done the right way, under fair, standard conditions, so you can trust it and compare.
So, we've set up this whole standardized system just for measuring heat changes and reactions. But why? Why go through all that trouble? What's the real-world payoff? Well, let me tell you, it is absolutely massive.
Because we have databases full of these standard values, scientists can predict if a new reaction they've designed is going to be dangerously explosive, or if it's going to need a ton of energy just to get started. It lets engineers compare everything from gasoline to hydrogen to biofuels to see which one gives you the most bang for your buck. It is absolutely vital for safety in chemical plants. And it's the foundation for developing all sorts of new materials, from more powerful batteries to, yes, even those goofy self-heating coffee cans. So here's the bottom line, the most important takeaway. Standard enthalpy change isn't just some number. It's the universal language of energy and chemistry. It's the common yardstick that allows science to be this huge, global, collaborative thing.
A chemist in Tokyo can build directly on the work of a chemist in Brazil because they are speaking the exact same energy language. It's what turns a bunch of isolated experiments into a worldwide web of knowledge that speeds up everything.
And that just leaves us with one last thought to chew on. We started with a simple cold pack, and we ended up with a global system for measuring energy. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? If we can measure the hidden heat of a reaction with this much precision, what other everyday mysteries are just sitting there waiting for us to solve them with chemistry?